Alright, hello everyone, welcome. My name is Conman. We're on the PTR right now. This is our first look at Malthael. Malthael? I still can't pronounce this guy's damn name. Anyway, where is his first look? I've just unlocked him. I'm taking a look in try mode. We're going to take a quick peek at his abilities and his traits. We had the rundown before on the website. We're going to actually get a hands on in try mode. Then we're going to hop out. And we're gonna go play with him in a game or 3 or 5 or so, whatever. Well, we'll see how the queues go. At any rate, so at level 20, let's take a look. Level 20, he's actually pretty beefy for an assassin. I mean, 4,600 health. It's actually a bit more than I would have expected from him. So that's I don't know if that's. Let me play with this for a second. Yeah, I don't think that's right. 4,300 health. So slightly different. 4,300 health at level 20. So so he's still fairly in the beefy side for a melee assassin. Here's the one thing I was surprised about. He gets a mount, as you can see. You know, he walks normally. He's got this kind of methodical, coasting along, you know, Segway kind of style, if you saw that Carbot video for Alarak. 0.91 attacks per second and 257 melee damage. I'm a little surprised. I expected that to be a little bit slower, or maybe hit a little bit less hard. I'm not sure, but that is what it is. So you see the icon there. That applies his trait. His trait here is Reaper's Mark. Basic attacks afflict non-structured targets with Reaper's Mark for 4 seconds. Marked enemies are revealed, which is nice. And they take damage equal to 2.5% of their maximum health every second. So you get 4 ticks on this. I don't know if this can be removed. I mean, I imagine you can heal over it. So, you know, you can see here this target dummy takes 800 damage over 4 seconds because of this, which is you know, a bunch. So it's this, you don't do more damage necessarily by continuing to attack. I mean, you get the melee attacks, the damage, but all it does is refresh the duration, so it ticks for more. So it's, in theory, it's a lot of damage, but it's going to be more of the slower, sustained damage. It's not going to be super bursty, at least that is. Let's take a peek at his abilities. So level 1, we have Soul Rip. Extract the souls of nearby enemies afflicted by your trait. You deal 219 damage, and you heal yourself for 96 per hit. Heroic target, and this, so 96 per hit is for minions or mercenaries or anything like that. Heroic targets hit, heal yourself for an additional 3% of their maximum health. So let's take a look. We'll go, hello mercenaries. Come beat me up a little bit as I walk around and make sounds. Alright, so you see that? I'm going to hit this guy. I'm going to do like this. It's going to heal me a little bit. Only a 2-second cooldown, so as long as you have your trade up, you can spam this pretty often. If I hit this guy over here, you see I get healed for extra. I think it's hard to see, but there's actually 2 ticks there. So there's the 96 tick and then the bonus health tick that comes across. So you get 2 ticks there. So for heroic, you get more. If you've got a whole bunch of heroes marked up, and you know you can hit them all with your mark, and you can get them all within this area, I imagine you can heal yourself for quite a lot. Make for some very interesting plays, especially on such a short cooldown, 2 seconds. You're gonna have this up quite often. 20 mana. At your W ability, Wraith Strike. Instantly teleport through an enemy afflicted by Reaper's Mark. You deal some damage and you refresh Reaper's Mark. So you got some decent range on that. So if we target this guy, all right, we hit you with the mark. I can go like that, and it teleports me. Short cooldown, again, 5 seconds. So this is going to give you some mobility. You can target someone. You can kind of back off and jump in and do what you need to do. There are some ranged abilities that you can have, where you can apply your trait on someone, so it definitely can be used for some mobility. And here's that range right here, is Death Shroud. I can't keep my damn camera centered. After a quarter second, unleash a wave of dark mist that applies Reaper's Mark to enemies that it hits. Looks something like that. So you got a bit of a wind-up time with this, 8-second cooldown, but now I can follow that up. So it doesn't do any damage straight away, but it just applies your trait, and then you can kind of jump in and do something like that, and hit him with the Reaper's Mark, or hit him with the Wraith Strike, as it's called, and then your Soul Rip. I'm gonna get used to these names. So there is 2 things. He's got 2 pretty neat ults as well. Let's go take a peek at those. We'll just pick whatever. We're actually gonna burn through all of these talents. We'll take a look because I think there's some really fun ones here. First one is Tormented Souls.
Choose a talent.
Gain 20 armor and unleash a torrent of souls continually applying Reaper's Mark to nearby enemies for 4 seconds. So it looks something like this. You can still attack while this is going on. You can still use your other abilities while this is occurring. So it's sort of almost like a Kerrigan, you know, Maelstrom, but for your trait, sort of like that. You just, let me toggle cooldowns real fast. It looks just kind of like that. So anyone in this area is going to be afflicted, and it's not, you know, it's not going to be a whole lot of burst damage on that. That's just going to be a lot of slow, sustained damage, but you have use of your other abilities while it's going on, so you can still use Soul Rip. So this would be one of those ones where, hey, you've got 5 heroes on you, they're jumping you, you hit them with Tormented Souls, and then you fire off your Soul Rip and heal back for, you know, all the things. So that's interesting. Plus you can do Raid Strike, and you can Death Shroud and all that fun stuff. 80 second cooldown on that, and you have 20 armor to boot, so you've got a little bit of survivability with it. Alternatively, and here's the one that I think a lot of people are curious about, it's the first, at least according to the in-depth video, the first heroic ability for, the first quest, let's try this again, the first heroic ability to have a quest talent, Last Rites. Apply a death sentence to an enemy hero that after 2 seconds it deals damage to 50% of their missing health. So let's math that out for a minute. What that means is if you cast this on an enemy that has full health, nothing happens. You cast this on an enemy that has 30% health, it's going to kill them because it's going to be more than they've got left. And here's the quest. It's a repeatable quest. Enemies killed while under the effect of Last Rites.
Choose a talent.
Permanently reduce its cooldown by 5 seconds. Excuse me, to a minimum of 15 seconds. So it's a 75 second by default cooldown. That's what I was curious about when I was talking about him before. What this means is that's 60-second reduction, so you need to kill 12 people. You need to get 12 deaths, 12 kills with Last Rites in order to get the maximum reduction. So this is something that's going to build up to 70 to start to 75 seconds. It's going to build up over the course of the game. Here, we'll see it in action. See, it's got that icon there. That means it will kill him, and boom, and he explodes, and I get a little ding. I get a little ding, and it lowers the cooldown. So let's complete these quests. Actually, we're gonna go like this. We're gonna go like that. I wanna see this here. So I've got my quest completed. So that's 10 seconds. Let's try this again. Let's go play with Arthas some more. We'll get him dead. So you see the icon that pops up on him when it'll kill him. We're gonna wait a little bit. We'll let there it is. There's the death icon. That means if I cast this now, he's gonna die. So down he goes. That's hysterical. He flies way up in the air. I like that a lot. Yeah. So this should be, it says minimum of 15 seconds, but that's only a 10-second cooldown, so that might be a bug. I don't know. We're going to try that out in a game. That's the first thing I'm going to take when I get a game. I'm going to cast it right on Arthas now. Yeah, that is definitely 10 seconds. Okay, so that's a thing. Something to keep in mind. That's how that works. The lower... So, again, I think I mentioned this before, you want to combo this, you know, get a lot of damage to start with, and this is going to be your closer. As people kind of go away, they've got 2 seconds to deal with it. You know, imagine jumping in, curse bullet on somebody, you know, get a little bit of damage, and then using Last Rites, and that's going to be a very, very dead tank. Let's take a peek at his talents, all his talents. He's got some interesting ones that I like here. We'll start at level 1. Death's Reach increases Rate Strike by 35%. So you get a lot more range on your Rate Strike, so that's pretty neat. On a Pale Horse, gain additional 20% movement speed while mounted. Alright. Fear the Reaper. Whoops, go back here. Fear the Reaper. You get its activated ability, increase movement speed by 25% and pass through other units for 4 seconds. So this is wall. Here's ability here. You can kind of pass through units. Let's see, I'm going to run over here, get my movement speed. I'm going to pass through Arthas. Hello. Okay, and now I'm getting body blocked again. So that's interesting. Short cooldown on that, only 25 seconds. That's level 1. Level 4, Die Alone. Soul Rip deals 75% more damage if it only hits one hero.
Choose a talent.
There you go. So you get a little bit of bonus damage on that. If it only hits one hero. So it's only one hero. It only says one hero. It doesn't say anything about minions. So hopefully you can still hit minions and heroes at the same time. Throwing Shade. Quest talent. Hit 20 heroes with Death Shroud, which is your E, and you can hit multiple heroes in one shot. Permanently increase Death Shroud's range, which is sweet, and reduce its cooldown by 2 seconds. Now it's got a really short cooldown to begin with, only 8-second cooldown. I mean, you can see it's at 7 seconds by the time it finishes casting, so you can have potentially have this to be a 6-second cooldown. Passive ability, though, here's another quest talent, Black Harvest. Apply Reaper's Mark to heroes for a total of 150 seconds. Now remember, if they don't die, you hit somebody, it's on at least 4 seconds. Reward, permanently increase Reaper's Mark duration by 2 seconds. So it's going to make your trait go from 4 to 6. So just extra damage. So imagine that 200 dot tick that I was getting before, well now instead of doing 800 damage, it's going to do 1200 damage over 6 seconds. So just more damage, more sustained damage at that. At level 7, Cold Hand, Slow Rip slows enemies by 20% for 2.5 seconds. So you hit some enemies, alright, and now they're slowed. So that could be used for setting up some things. Only 20% slow, so not too much, but it's still a bit, especially if you've got some movement stuff going on. Mortality. When damaging a hero, Wraith Strike deals bonus damage equal to 4% of a hero's maximum health. So if you hit a hero with Wraith Strike,
choose a talent.
There you go. You see the extra tick there, so it does extra damage on top of that, and your Wraith Strike is 5 seconds, so you could potentially have that up a bunch. Alternatively, Touch of Death. Activate to reduce healing received by heroes afflicted by your trait by 50% for 4 seconds. So this is your anti-heal, anti-support ability. This could be potentially 2.
Choose a talent.
Nope, not that one.
Choose
This could potentially be
Choose a talent.
2 activated abilities already. So there you go. Yeah, just anti-support, reduce healing by 50% for 4 seconds. So this kind of counteract the fact that your abilities, your trait, a little is slow damage. Already talked about that. I'm going to take last rites for the lulls. Let's see, 13 Soul Siphon. Increase Soul Rip's bonus healing from heroes to 4% of the hero's maximum health. It starts at 3%, so this is just an extra heal for you. Ethereal Existence. You gain 15% physical armor per enemy hero afflicted by Reaper's Mark up to a maximum of 45. Potentially very good against auto-attacking heroes. Inevitable 2, again, more activated abilities, 2 of them here. Inevitable N. Activate to become unstoppable for 2 seconds, but remove all active Reaper's Marks. So that could be used to get away at the cost of not, giving up some damage to not be stunned or to be able to get out of an engagement. Alternatively, Shroud of Wisdom. After 2 seconds, gain 50 spell armor for 4 seconds. So let's see how that looks. Okay, so there's not even a whole lot of graphics about that. It just kind of ticks down, and then it gives you a spell shield, and then it goes away. So while Ethereal Existence is good against auto attackers, Shroud of Wisdom might be good against spellcasters. So I think this looks like your play by the enemy composition kind of. Play by your inevitable end. Do they have a lot of CC? Maybe you take that. So I like the direction. Excuse me. I like the direction they go there. It gives you choice. I don't see any one talent that's going to overpower the others here. Just it really depends on what the enemy team is throwing at you. So at 16, Soul Collector, reduce Soul Rip's cooldown by a ½ second and increase its range. It's only 2 seconds to begin with, so this will drop it down to a second and a half. The range, however. Let's see here. That's a nice range on that. That's some decent range. I like that. Massacre. Wraith Strike now damages enemies and applies Reaper's Mark to enemies around the target. So, okay. So, you can do one of those, and then you jump in, and it will hit everybody in the area. So that's potentially good in a group. Otherwise, we've got Memento Mori. Reaper's Mark deals 100% increased damage after afflicting an enemy for over 4 seconds. So that's okay. So here we go right here. Keeping it out, so if you refresh the cooldown, this will be good. If you can combo this right here, even with not throwing shade, where is it? Black Harvest. So that'll synergize with Black Harvest. Permanently increase the Reaper's Mark by 2 seconds. So already it's going to last at least 6 seconds. So you'll get 2 bonus ticks out of that. And if you increase the duration by any means whatsoever, then you're going to get even more bonus ticks. So that could potentially be very, very strong, actually. Let's see how that looks, actually. We're just going to go through. We'll take last rites. We'll take this. Let's see how that looks. Complete quests. Alright, so that's just 6 seconds. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yeah, bonus damage. Okay, so that could be really, really strong if you can keep your trait on enemies. That could be really good. Level 20. So Reaper of Souls. While Tormented Souls is active, Hero Takedowns extend its duration by 4 seconds. Alright, so this that's saying if you get some kills, your duration is going to be good, so you might want to use that against people that have low health already. Angel of Death, lacerates heals for 100% of the damage dealt. Alright. And its current and future cooldown reduction bonuses are doubled. I'm going to just click on that. Oh, that's not what I want. Alright, so, correct me if I'm wrong here, there is no cooldown on that. Now, I don't know if that's just a bug. Now, I use complete quests. I don't know if that's a bug or not. We might try to do that in a game and see what happens. Because according to this, even if it's doubled, it says to a minimum of 15 seconds. So there still should at the very least be 15 seconds here. Otherwise, you can just continually... Where's Arthas? Come here, friend. I mean, he's going to get killed here.
A killing blow.
Yeah, but otherwise, once Arthas comes back... There's 100 mana on that, so I guess I can't completely spam it. That's kind of pricey in the mana department, but still. Yeah, I mean, it's going to hit him with one of these. I'm going to miss completely, actually. Yeah, here's a spell. Wait till that ticks down. Here's some damage. I'm going to hit him again. Here's some more damage. I would cast it one more time, but I'm out of mana. So, there we go. Yeah, I'm convinced that's a bug. I don't think that's going to make it out of the PTR. I'm going to try it anyway, but I wouldn't expect that to make it out of the PTR in the current state. Just assume it's going to go down to 15 seconds. Unless I'm completely misinterpreting it, but it could just be me. Let's look at the other level 20s. Final Curtain. Death Shroud leaves a trail in its wake for 4 seconds, and it applies Reaper's Mark to enemies. Yeah, it applies the trait. So, alright. So essentially, it will just cast it there and leave like a little path if enemies walk through it. It'll be bad. Here's the other interesting choice at level 20. No one could stop death. Activate while dead to immediately respawn at the altar, but increase your next respawn time by 25%. Let's go through and not that there's a whole lot of another activated ability. Look at like Piano Malthael. You could have all the activated abilities. So I'm gonna get myself killed. I'm gonna see how that looks. Kill me faster. I'll probably just walk into the damn towers. Boom boom.
Well done. Your killing
I'm dead.
spree has
Activate. Alright, so now, this says 180 second cooldown. Your next death respawn timer is 25 seconds longer. So let's see, let's go get killed again. Notice that my trade is not being applied to these here structures. Actually, the other thing I wanted to take a look at, let's see. Boom. Yeah, that is an increased death timer. You see the icon there. I'm going to toggle cooldowns on this. I do have one more question, actually. My question is, I guess I could potentially cast this, and because it's got a 180 second cooldown, I could be alive again. Like, the cooldown could be up before I get killed again, so I could just cast it one more time. Is where I was going with this. I'm going to get killed. Okay. Fantastic. Alright, I'm going to respawn, as you see, all the way on the minimap. I'm going to take a walk over. Now, this says my next death respawn timer 25 seconds longer, but my cooldown is up.
Rise again.
Yeah, and I guess I can do it again. Okay, so that's if you don't die again in that 180 seconds, you could just respawn instantly one more time. And here's actually the last thing that I wanted to check out. I wanted to see just to make sure that my trait is going to work on bosses, and sure as shit it does. So there you go. So bosses, so you could actually kill bosses potentially pretty quickly with this. Look at that, especially with the trait bonus. I don't think I can solo this thing, but I could certainly help burn down a boss pretty quickly. So that's nice. Pretty cool. Okay. I'm gonna whoops, almost got myself killed there. I'll heal off you, thanks friend. So that's Malthael in a nutshell. I've got a couple of ideas. For talent builds just going through my head. I like Death's Reach just off, I mean, I think all of these are pretty good. I like Death Reach for the mobility. I'm like, for level 4, I'm down with Throwing Shade, looks really good, but Black Harvest seems really strong, to me. At least, it seems like it could be a strong late-game power spike, to me, anyway. Let's see, Touch of Death. This is kind of just depends how it goes. Again, do you really need to stop enemy healing? Do they have strong support? Maybe you don't. It's kind of situational. If you want, you know, straight damage, Mortality is interesting as well. I wonder if, yeah, because I wonder if Mortality is going to counter if you take the AoE for Wraith Strike. If that'll do it, that could be, you know, a lot of damage, 4% for everybody across the board. This, I'm convinced this is broken. I'm definitely going to try that out. 13 seems situational, depending on the team comp. At 16, this is really good if you synergize it with Black Harvest. Otherwise, Massacre. You know, like I said, if you play this up at the 4%, so that's interesting as well. There are a lot of. I don't think there's going to be one straight talent build. I do think there are a couple that kind of stand out, just for consistency's sake. But nothing that really goes, oh man, you absolutely have to take that. At least yet. I'm going to see how it plays out in a game. He is kind of slow otherwise. I mean, other than Wraith Strike, he doesn't have any mobility, and you can only use Wraith Strike on somebody that you've got your trait on. So, like, if I'm running away from someone, you know, I don't want to go backwards over here. I would kind of have to run toward a minion and hope that, let's see how this would work. I have to run toward a minion and do something like that and then keep going, which is, it's possible. I mean, that's your range. Yeah, so it should seem fun. I'm gonna check him out. I'll post this up. You let me know your thoughts. We're gonna get at least one gameplay with that, and we'll see how it looks. All right, thanks very much. Take care.